Hello, Rider University. My name is Jonathan Sherby, and I have a question for you. Do you think eating tacos, delicious tacos, can cause you to miss the deadline for this assignment? If you eat a taco, will you not be able to turn in this presentation? Well, let's discuss this. I believe as students, either working now or planning to have a career, it is key to be able to not draw faulty conclusions, to be able to think logically and critically as human beings. As a philosophy minor, I have had the privilege and opportunity to research logical, formal and informal fallacies. And today I'm going to talk to you about, pardon me as I read so I don't mess this mouthful up, post hoc ergo propter hoc. I was graciously appointed this topic. It literally translates into after this, therefore, because of this. You've probably heard a common phrase, correlation does not cause causation. That is how this particular logical informal fallacy is referred to. And for our purposes, and so I don't stumble over my words too many times, I'm just going to call it post hoc or post hoc fallacy. So being able to recognize common forms of the post hoc fallacy helps us to think logically and critically. This fallacy is pervasive, it shows up in many forms, and I would like to discuss a few particulars that involve science and medicine and nutrition and even some magical thinking. So first, there's a professor at NYU named Keith Clore who has researched the link between, or possible link between GMOs and cancer. And his research has shown that avoiding GMOs has zero impact on cancer. So whether you get cancer or not, hopefully you don't, but if you do, it is not connected to eating GMOs. And further, Irma Levy, who is a dietetic researcher at MD Anderson Cancer Center, has said that we all eat GMOs. They're so pervasive in our food sources that, we can avoid them, but we all eat them. So it's just part of our existence, and there is no link to cancer. Secondly, in this post hoc fallacy world, something very interesting can come up involving superstitions and magical thinking. So B.F. Skinner, world famous behavioral psychologist, has had conducted many experiments and has determined that based on certain experiences, humans sometimes can develop ritualistic behaviors and thinking. For example, if you are bowling and you throw the ball, it's going down the alley, you might twist your wrist or twist your body a little bit, thinking that you have the ability in doing that to make the ball move. That is an example of post hoc, because you are thinking twisting the wrist is going to make the ball curve, and obviously that's not true. Freud was talking about people developing the belief that they can control events with their minds. Mind control. This obviously is magical thinking, and there may have been a coincidence where you thought it was going to rain and then it rained, and so therefore you think that your thought process that it's going to rain caused the rain. Obviously that's not the case. Finally, we get into the controversial hot button topic of vaccines and autism. So according to the CDC, there have been countless studies on this potential link, and they have determined conclusively that there is zero link between vaccines and autism. And additionally, this really began in the late 90s. There was a doctor in Britain named Andrew Wakefield who actually created a hoax. He did some faulty research and faked the results in order to show that there was a link between vaccines and autism. And it's clearly not the case based on the CDC. However, some people still have that belief because they heard that a long time ago in the face of new actual evidence that one thing causes the other, which it clearly does not. So in conclusion, I would say that it is an excellent life skill for all of us to be able to find many fallacies that are out there in the world, but particularly this one, post hoc, because it can be very pervasive and, you know, it can really cause us to believe some wacky things, to do some wacky things, and it's best if we're able to think critically and logically rather than having this magical thinking. So, finally, back to the taco. After hearing about this fallacy, do you think eating a taco can cause you to miss this assignment? No, I had no tacos last night. They're not keto. I didn't eat any, so I'm turning this in. How about you? What do you think? Thank you very much.